All right, it is week 4, live lecture 2, and I'm actually going to be getting ahead of class time here so that I can get this information to you quicker. So hopefully, if you have any questions, let me know. We're going to go over your last part of your assignment 4, which we didn't get to last night, so we're going to do that. And then also, we're going to go over your assessment 4. I do have my 4-year-old running around. You might hear her. She's still up, so I may have to pause this from time to time, so just kind of bear with me here. Okay, so the last time that we met up, let me share my screen here. We went over your assignment 4. So if you missed that, definitely go back and listen to the demo that I did last night. It was lecture 1 of week 4. We went over everything in here. We, built, revised, built the cover, and then also worked on the table of contents. The only thing that we didn't do was this part, which is submission requirements. So what you're going to do is that you're going to package your InDesign file. You're going to include the PDF in single page format. You're going to save your package file as a zip file, and you're going to name it as such. And then you're going to upload your final magazine to your Behance portfolio site and submit the URL in the comments. You're going to send an email to your FPA and CC me, your instructor, with the URL link to your project on your Behance portfolio site. So let me go ahead and open up what we were working on yesterday as far as the demo is concerned. So you guys, if you were with me or saw the recording, you saw how I came up with this cover. We also revised anything that needed to be revised, did the table of contents. Everything looks pretty good. Did the spell check, just did a second overview, and now we're ready to save it as a PDF, single page PDF. So we're going to go File, PDF presets, and you can do the smallest file size is fine. And then I'm just going to save this to the desktop. You could do pages and then export it. Click OK, that's just the color space blend that's going to change. And then it's going to import here. All right. All right, the next thing we're going to do, and let me pull this out so I can actually, for some reason my document is getting hidden behind here. There we go. We're going to, let me stop sharing, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Let me share my desktop. All my stuff open up here. Sorry, guys. And if I go to my PDF, just take a look at your PDF. Make sure it looks good. Let me zoom out here. It's always good to kind of double check your PDF. And there we go. So it should be single pages. Oh, that looks pretty big. Here we go. Just take a look, make sure it looks good. Everything is in place. Sorry, guys, I just updated to the new system software. So I'm kind of literally just started getting used to it today. So there might be some adjustments that I need to work through here. But anyway, so go through your PDF. Just make sure everything looks good. It's a single PDF, so you won't see your spreads going on there. But that's the PDF that you need to do. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back to my desktop. Go back to your InDesign file, and you're going to package this. Same way, so File, Package. Everything looks good. Click Package, Save. Make sure it's saved the same file name as specified in the project. And then what you're going to do is just save it to your desktop or wherever the folder is that you know where you're saving it to. All right, so just make sure that all of your fonts and linked images are checked. And you don't have to include a PDF because you already kind of created the PDF. So you're good. So just hit Package. Everything kind of should go into that folder. and that will be on the desktop. So 1 second here. Here it is on your desktop. In the folder, you have your InDesign file, you have your fonts and your links. And what you're going to do is just select the folder, go up to File, Compress, or do a Control-click and zip it. Okay, so before you do that, you're going to want to actually throw your PDF in there. I forgot to do that. So I'm going to throw in that PDF and then do the Control-click or File Compress. And you have the zipped file right here. So this is what you're going to actually submit for your final project. The next thing that you need to do, and hopefully you have a Behance account. I already do, so this is kind of me logged in here. And this is my personal Behance page. So all you need to do is create, it's behance.net if you don't have an account yet. And it's free, and it's nice because you can kind of share your work and also look at inspirational artists, designers, maybe even agencies that you could follow and keep track of and be inspired by. So at this point, what you're just going to do is create a project. You're going to choose that option. And this will kind of start your building of your project. You're going to choose Upload Files. And let's see here, where's that folder that we had made? The final zipped folder was this one. So you're going to select that PDF that you made and you're going to choose Open. Aha, I thought maybe you weren't able to submit a PDF. Okay, so you're going to do an extra step, which isn't in the instructions, which should have been, I don't know why. So what you're going to do is you're going to export your file before you do anything in Behance as JPEGs. Oops. Sorry, guys. Okay, so go back to your InDesign file, go up to File, and choose Export. Desktop is fine, but right here where it says Format, you're going to choose JPEG. And then just hit Save. Everything else looks good. So all pages, all of this looks great. Maximum baseline, 72 pixels per inch, RGB looks good, and hit Export. Might take a little while here. All right, and then whenever you're done, go back to your Behance page. I don't know why it doesn't say this in the instructions, but kind of bear with me here. You will have to do it this way because you cannot upload a PDF. So you go back to your Behance page, and you're going to upload files. Go to your desktop, wherever you saved your JPEGs. And where's the first cover here? So I'm going to just hold the Shift key down, find the cover image all the way down to page 8, and hold down Shift. Select so you can add all of your JPEG images and just hit Open. And what's going to happen is it's going to import all of your pages in here so that you can view them within your Behance account. Then you can hit Save or Continue. Save is, if you want to do anything else to it, you're good. Continue will go to the next set of presets. It's going to ask you to upload an image for the cover. You can choose the cover or whichever. Oh, you have to do a different size here. This is kind of what is a little crazy with this. So I think if this is giving you the same message as it is for me, what you should do or try to, I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to click on the JPEG of the cover. I'm just going to double click on it. And then I'm going to do a screenshot. So I open this up in preview. I'm going to do a Shift Command 4, and I'm just going to do a screenshot where I'm just doing just a little snippet of this. Okay, let's see if this works. It doesn't have to be the whole cover. This has to be a certain size. I know I've had issues with this before. Even when I got it to the size that it needs to be, it still gives me problems, but let's see if the screenshot will do it. Yeah, it's doing it, so that's good. Looks like it looks good. Okay, the title size, so that's all you have to do. And then you can, zoom in and zoom out, push this around. It doesn't have to be the full cover, just as a peekaboo shot. You can name it the class number, so DES243 is fine. Assessment, or no, it would be assignment, I'm sorry, assignment 4, magazine or publication, whatever you want to do. Crop and continue. And then this is just basic information, so you can add creative fields, you can add graphic design in here. I don't know if there's publication design, let me see. Publication design, not so much. Print design, and even, so you can kind of look through here and click done when you're ready, and then tools used, you can, obviously Adobe InDesign. What else do we do? We use Photoshop too. You can do that as well. And then when you're done, click done. And when you're ready, just hit publish, and it's going to publish it onto your Behance site. Now this is something to keep in mind. It's going to give you a link here at this point. Just double click on it, do a copy, Command C, so that you can send that URL. That's the URL that you'll need to send to right here to your FPA, and then also CC me on that email. Okay, so you're going to submit the actual PDF. You're going to save your package folder zipped file. You're going to submit that. Then you're going to save the PDF as well to add in there. And then also you're going to submit, after you export your PDF as JPEGs, every page to upload to Behance, you're going to get that URL to send to your FPA. And then when you go back to your actual page, you might not see, these are all my examples, you might just see your projects, but you'll see that it's set in here. So if you click on it, you can view it. So you can see all your pages in there. Go ahead, take a look at all of them, make sure everything looks good. You can edit the project here, say if you kind of want to maybe shift some things around. You can even delete if you're done, or unpublish, and promote. Again, that's another sharing option. This is where your URL will be displayed as well. Okay, I'm actually going to go back and delete this so you can see how that works. Delete, delete. Okay, so hopefully that'll kind of get you guys started with that, and that clarifies everything that we didn't get finished yesterday evening. All right, we're going to go right into your assessment 4. And I'll read through the prompt here. Basically what we're going to be doing is making your document come alive. So we're going to take your printed PDF that you created, and we're going to do some interactive elements to it. And I think this is going to be pretty fun for you guys, so I think you'll enjoy it. So I'm going to read through the prompt. Go ahead and read through the background. This is kind of what you will be answering here, and this is the design assignment instructions. So it's now time to take your finished magazine initially designed as a multi-page layout in InDesign and convert it to an interactive PDF document. An interactive PDF is a great choice to create digital magazine because it completely preserves the look of your InDesign document and requires no coding to build and deliver a well-crafted interactive PDF. So your assignment instructions are create a navigation system that includes hyperlinks for each article on cover so the reader can jump directly to each article, one hyperlink added to the editorial article, and one hyperlink added to the feature article that links specific content to Wikipedia. For example, adding a link to the Wikipedia page on remodeling. Interactive table of contents that can be clicked to go to the articles. Bookmarks allowing readers to navigate to an article and content. Navigation buttons on each page that the user can use to browse the magazine page by page or jump to the table of contents. When you're done, you're going to export to the web, so Adobe InDesign Publish Online, and I'll show you how to do that. You're going to export as a spread. You're going to copy the URL and submit in comments, and then you're going to save your PDF as such, the assessment 4, submit the interactive PDF for grading, and then you're going to send an email to your FPA and CC me, your instructor, with your URL link to your online magazine. So there's quite a few instructions in here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a video first that kind of explains a little bit on how to create, let me see here, excuse me, how to create an interactive PDF, and it kind of goes through all those steps, and then what I'll be doing is just kind of a demo after that based on my project that I have been showing you guys every lecture, okay? So bear with me here, let me get that going.
The versatility of the PDF format allows you to create documents that contain interactivity, including movies, hyperlinks, bookmarks, page transitions, and buttons. Let's add some interactivity to a document and export it to an interactive PDF file. Now, I'm beginning this video with the interactive-elements.indd file already open on my computer. And we're just going to add a couple of interactive elements to this so we can see how this works inside of InDesign. Now, what I've already done is I've reset my workspace to one that ships with InDesign called Interactive for PDF. So when you choose that option, it's going to display the panels associated with that workspace. And we're going to start off by adding some hyperlinks to our document. I'm going to go ahead and go to the hyperlinks panel, and I'm going to click on this pluralist logo here. And we're going to come down here to our hyperlinks panel, and I'm going to click on the Create New Hyperlink button. Now, this allows me to define where this hyperlink is going to go. I can use a URL, an email address, a file, a page, a text anchor, or a shared destination. Now, in this example, I'm going to use a URL, and I'm just going to put the Adobe website here. We'll just go ahead and type www.adobe.com. Now, the shared hyperlink destination is turned on by default. And usually, I would encourage you to turn that off unless you're going to reuse the URL multiple times. So in this case, I'll go ahead and keep that turned on. Go ahead and click OK. And you'll see that now we have a new hyperlink down here. Now, sometimes it can be helpful if you come up to the panel menu and choose Rename Hyperlink and give it a more relevant name. I'll call this Adobe Hyperlink. And we'll click OK. And now at least you can tell, what that hyperlink is doing. Now I'm going to navigate to page 2, and I'm going to do the same thing to this logo. Now this time when I create my new hyperlink, for the link to, I'm going to change that to shared destination, and then I can choose the Adobe URL that I created previously, so I don't have to retype it in. We'll go ahead and click OK. And I should also point out that you can create a hyperlink by highlighting text as well. But obvious hyperlinks that are implicitly displayed are typically going to get converted automatically when you go to the PDF format anyway. So we'll go ahead and leave that as is. And let's go ahead and now add some bookmarks. So I think what I'll do here is I'm going to go to the Pages panel, and I'm going to navigate to page 4 where we have our backpacks. Now I'm going to open up the Bookmarks panel, and I'm going to click on the Create New Bookmark button. I'm going to call this bookmark Backpacks, and I'll press Enter, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to the Pages panel again. We'll double click on page 6, and I'm going to create a new bookmark again. This one's going to be Chairs, and last but not least, we'll go to page 7, where I'm going to add another bookmark for the sleeping bag. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the New Bookmark button, and I'll call this one Sleeping Bags. Press Enter. And now we have some bookmarks in our document as well. Now, one last thing I'd like to show you is you can see that I've added some navigation icons here. And I've just quickly added these so we can see how we can add buttons to our document as well. Now I've actually added these to the master page. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the Pages panel, double click on a catalog. And what we're going to do is we're going to create some button navigations of these triangles here. So I'm going to click on this first navigation, and I'm going to come over here to the Buttons and Forms panel. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this icon down here at the bottom to convert that object to a button. And then we can highlight the name. I'm going to call this one Previous. And then in the actions here, I'm going to click the plus sign, and I'm going to go ahead and choose Go to Previous Page at the top. Now, you can also change the event. Right now, the event is on release or tap. You can change it to on click, on rollover, on roll off, and then you have on focus and on blur, and that's specific to the PDF format. But I'm going to leave mine set to on release or tap. And then what I'll do is go ahead and come over here to the next one. We're going to convert that to the button, call this one Next, and then we're going to add an action to this, and we're going to say Go to Next Page. Now, to save a little bit of time, what we can do is simply make copies of these two existing buttons. So I'm going to delete these two on the right, and I'll highlight these. And while holding down the Alt or Option key and the Shift key, I'm just going to drag this over to the right-hand page. And now I've got copies of those buttons on that page as well. If I go to my Pages panel, go to page 1, we can see that we now have those buttons appearing here. Now on the first page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Shift Command on Mac or Shift Control on Windows, and I'm going to click on that triangle to override it. And then I'm just going to delete it because we don't want the previous button on the first page. And then I'll do the same thing on the last page. Go all the way down to the bottom, Shift Command or Shift Control, and we'll delete that button as well. Now it's time for us to export to an interactive PDF. I'm going to go to the File menu, choose Export. And for the format, instead of Adobe PDF Print, I'm going to choose Adobe PDF Interactive. Now I do want to point out that hyperlinks and bookmarks will in fact export in the PDF Print format, but other interactive elements will not. So we're going to go ahead and choose PDF Interactive. I'm going to go ahead and save this to the Chapter 15 folder, and we'll go ahead and click Save. And you'll notice that the dialog box when exporting to an interactive PDF is a bit different than the one for the print version. So the important thing here is that down here at the bottom where it says Forms and Media, that we choose Include All. We're going to make sure that we include all of our interactive elements when we do this. In addition, you can choose whether you want to output the PDF as spreads or single pages. I'm going to go with single pages. And then I'm going to let it view the PDF after exporting. So if I go ahead and click OK, it is letting me know this is a common error here because our document is using the CMYK blend space and an interactive PDF uses an RGB color mode. So it's just letting you know you may encounter some color changes in this situation. So I'm just going to go ahead and click OK, and that's going to export my PDF. You'll notice that the interactive PDF format does not export in the background as a print PDF does. And when it's all finished, I'm going to go ahead and press Command-0 on Mac or Control-0 on Windows. And I'm open now inside of Acrobat Pro, but you can open it in Adobe Reader as well. You'll get the same behavior. You'll notice if I click on that, it's going to take me to the Adobe website in my default browser. So now I'm just going to return to Acrobat, and you'll see that I can also, when I hover over these buttons, that will take me to the next page or the previous page in my PDF document. And then last but not least, if you open up the Bookmarks panel, we can see that we do in fact have the bookmarks that we created. If I click on Backpacks, it's going to take me to the Backpacks page, or the Chairs page, or the Sleeping Bags page. As you can see, adding interactivity can create a pleasant experience to the end user, which can be beneficial in a number of different ways.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys that PDF. I'm sorry, the link to that, because I think that's a really, really good demo of just a general way to add interactive elements to your PDF. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that just with the PDF that I created. I'm sorry, with the InDesign file that I created. So what you're going to do is go back to your InDesign file. Let me open this up here. All right. Everything looks good. We're ready to go. And then just as this gentleman stated, we are going to click on the Assets panel up here and choose Interactive for PDF. And what that's going to do is just give us all these really nice little tools that we can add our interactivity to. Okay, the first part of this is hyperlinks for each article on cover so the reader can jump directly to each article. So I have 3 articles here, and what we're going to do is just take the type tool and select, not just select the box, because some of these are all together. So if you did all of your headlines for your cover in one type box, you don't want to just select it to do this. You want to take your type tool and actually select the text that goes with the article. So selecting it with your type tool, go over to your panels and choose hyperlink. And now we're going to do just to create a new hyperlink. And what we're going to do here, and jump right to the director. Okay, so let's see here. Let me go back. We're going to choose page instead of URL. For this page, we are actually going to go to, because this is the feature article, and the feature article starts on page, I believe, 3. So we're going to go 3. Zoom setting at fixed is fine. Character style hyperlink. And then everything else, PDF appearance, invisible rectangle, that's fine. Everything else looks good. And we're going to click OK. All right, and the next thing we're going to do is select the next article name with our type tool and choose the same thing down below. Just create a new hyperlink, link to page, and this one is going to Life, Kids, and Brain Injury. This is your page 2, which is the letter from the editor. So just choose page 2. Everything else looks good. Click OK. Now, the only one that you're not going to be creating a linked or number 2 or a linked hyperlink to is the last one because we did not create the article for this. So just let that go. That's good. Okay. And then you'll see kind of a change to a hyperlink type of a look. At this point, I'm going to go File, Save As, and I forgot to say this. You should do this before you do any changes. Assessment 4 should be renamed so that any of the changes you're not changing your assignment for, you can always go back and change it. Okay, so those are the hyperlinks set up on your cover, and that's the first thing that you need to do. The next specification in your assessment 4 is 1 hyperlink added to the editorial article and 1 hyperlink added to the feature article that links specific content to Wikipedia. So for example, adding a link to the Wikipedia page on remodeling. Okay, so I'm going to go to Pages. And so I need to go and actually add a hyperlink to the editorial article. I'm going to go to the editorial article. So just choose a word in here that you think could be significant enough to look up through Wikipedia. So, you know, you might want to read through the whole article, see kind of what words kind of pop out. Let's see here. Star. I think I just was kind of thinking something would pop out on me on my own here, but let me see. Temporal lobe. Let's do that. So let's do temporal lobe. So I'm just going to select that, and then we're going to go to your hyperlinks again, and we're going to choose. Actually, before we even do that, let's go to Wikipedia. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Oops. I would probably just go like do a Google search for Wikipedia and just type in that same temporal lobe. Part of the brain, you know, just pick a term that kind of, you know, is a term that you can learn more about as far as maybe a, you know, like a specific term that connects with the article. So this would be where if I clicked on that hyperlink, it would go right to this page. So what I want to do after searching that keyword, I'm going to copy this URL. So I'm going to do Command C. I'm going to go back to my InDesign file where I'm going to link that to. So I just copied. And now I'm going to hit new hyperlink. And instead of page, I'm going to select linked to URL. And then here is where I'm going to actually just select all and then do Command V, which is a file place. And I'm going to uncheck that. Shared hyperlink, we don't really need to do that. Hyperlink is fine. I would probably choose none. Everything looks good. Click OK. There we go. And you're going to see it. It's going to be like a hyperlink look to it. So that is to the editorial page. Now I'm going to do the same thing for your feature page. So go ahead and look through this document, this article, and like I said before, pick out a term that you think would be fitting to look up if somebody were to like, oh, well, what does that mean? So not something that would be basic like food or anything like that, but maybe a term that's used in here that might be something that somebody would want to look into more. So with that being said, let me take a look in here and see if I can find something that jumps out at me. Circuit training. You know, maybe somebody doesn't know what circuit training is, so maybe circuit training is the hyperlink I want to do. So again, before I go and do anything, I'm going to go back to Wikipedia, and I'm going to type in circuit Am I spelling this wrong? Here, hold on. Yeah, CIR. Sorry, guys. Having a brain issue here. Circuit. There we go. So it's a form of body conditioning. So if you didn't know what that was, you can click on that. I'm going to go ahead and do a select all. So Command A and a Command C to copy that link. And then I'm going to go right back into my InDesign feature page. And I'm going to, with that highlighted word, I'm going to create a new hyperlink. URL should be selected. Again, in here, I'm just going to delete that, do a file place or Command V, which is file paste. Hyperlink is good, click OK. So there's my hyperlink right there. And go file save. So that's the second thing that you guys need to do for this. The third thing that you need to do is interactive table of contents that can be clicked to go to the articles. All right. So what I would do is I would select the whole article, like the headline and the body copy as well as the byline, and make this, again, a hyperlink. And I would do page instead of link. This is going to be the feature page. So I'm going to start on page 3. You can click none if you don't want it to look like a hyperlink. You can also do that on your cover if you don't want that blue looking type with the underline. That's okay. It'll just be invisible so you can't see that it's there. All right, do the same thing. Select this whole section of copy, create a new hyperlink, go to page, and this is actually on this page. So page 2 is fine. Invisible, no style, click OK. Now these, you won't need to connect to anything. These are going to be blank. So just the first two here for mine. Okay, file save. And you'll see kind of these, once we save it out as an interactive PDF, you'll see the functionality start. So you can't really see it right now because it's invisible. The next thing is bookmarks, allowing readers to navigate to an article and content. So you saw in that demo how he did it. So I'm going to show you how to do it in here. So let's say I'm going to bookmark, maybe not the cover, but the letter from the editor. So I'm going to go to Pages, and I'm going to double click on page 2, and I'm going to choose Bookmarks. And I'm going to add a bookmark, and I'm going to name this Letter from the Editor. All right. I'm going to go to Pages again, and I'm going to select page 3, just double click. Then I'm going to choose Bookmarks again. I'm going to hit New Bookmark. I'm going to name this Feature Article. And there we go. Go back to Pages. Yeah, the feature article, we don't need to add bookmarks to that. We just need to add it to the start. You could put a bookmark here for the actual final full page ad. It's completely up to you. So if you wanted to, double click on the back page, which is page 8. Go to bookmarks and then do a full page ad. Rename it full page ad. Okay, file save, looks good. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so let's go back. That's the third thing. The next thing is navigation buttons on each page that the user can use to browse the magazine page by page or jump to the table of contents. All right, so just like in the demo, they showed you to go to the master pages. Now, the thing with mine is I have more than one master page, so I'm going to have to add a little bit more to all of my pages, and that's okay. We'll just kind of copy and paste. You probably don't have this issue because I actually changed it up a little bit here. You can create your own symbols. I do believe that they have, let me see if I can find it here. Okay, I thought there was some type of a library, but it looks like we might be thinking of Illustrator here. So we might have to create your own symbols. Now, I'm sure you could probably download one, but I would just make them. I think it's pretty easy. You could do, with the pen tool, the little arrow that the guy showed you, just do a simple arrow. You can edit that with your direct selection tool. So as long as it's a closed shape, you can go ahead and fill it. And then you can dial down the opacity if you wanted kind of like a transparent looking arrow. So we're going to do that one, and then we're going to copy and paste this one, and then you can go ahead and, let me see here, rotate it. So if you go to the R on your keyboard, you can rotate this, just hold the shift key down, and then if you have your snap to guides on, you can actually align it with your other one very perfectly. So just make sure you go to View, Grids and Guides, and just make sure your snap to guides and smart guides are on, so it can intuitively tell you that it is center on the page. With that being said, just like he said in the tutorial here, we're going to go and choose the left arrow, and we're going to go to Buttons and Forms, and we're going to choose Button, and we're going to choose Convert to Object. There we go. Actually, we'll just select that first. And then the name of it, we can always change. So let's do Previous on Release or Tap. And then actions, just go ahead and click the plus sign, and we're going to say go to last page. Appearance, you know, that's normal, that's fine. Everything looks good. And that is set. I'm going to go to the second arrow, do the same thing. The only thing I'm going to rename it next. Everything else is good there. Actions, go to next page would be the actions. Everything else looks good. And just like as he said in the tutorial, once you do that, just select both of these, shift select, and do an alt drag so that you're making a copy of these, and it's just easy to align. Now, with that being said, I have to copy these and actually save this and go to my rest of my page, master pages, which you guys don't really have to worry about. So where's my page link here? There we go. Oops. Oh, there's my libraries. Okay, so I didn't see that this was on here. Sample buttons and forms. You can actually go through here and choose these as well. These are just already saved symbols. This is what I was trying to look for. So you can go ahead and drag these down in here and use these, okay? And those are right here. Interactive, you should have a button. Buttons and forms right here. And that's where that goes to. This is sample buttons and forms, so that kind of goes with it. All right, with that being said, I'm gonna copy these. I just created mine, you don't have to. So that's kind of nice, right? Go to my pages here. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my B, and I'm gonna add this on here too. If you have two different master pages, you guys shouldn't, because I didn't really go over that, but you don't really need to. I just did it because I had other things going on that I needed to change too. So I'm gonna go ahead and implement those. Okay, I'm gonna go file save. Then I go back to my pages. So once you're done with that, go back to your pages. And then, just as he said, it's going to be, well, I don't have it on my cover page, that's good. If you have it on your cover page, and I actually need it, here, let me see here. I do need it on my cover page. So I'm gonna go to pages. I need to make this a master page. So I'm gonna actually put the left master page over top of my cover so that it's an actual master page, so that I have the previous page button on there. Okay, so you might need to do that too. So now, why isn't that showing here? Is it showing my other ones? Yeah. Oh, okay, because it's behind there. Okay. So what I'm gonna have to do, because of that, I'm gonna have to put this image, so I'm gonna copy this image and take it off and go to pages and actually add it to my master page up here. Oops. I'm gonna have to do a new master page. And I'm just gonna go right to the right page. I'm gonna paste that in there. And again, I'm gonna grab these elements. Actually, for this one, I'll just grab the right one. I know this is a little confusing for you guys because I have so many master pages and you guys only have one, so bear with me. I'm just gonna take out, oops. This left one because I don't need that. File save, you'll see kind of what's going on here whenever I click in here. And then I just have to apply that over top. There we go. And now my button will appear here. Okay, so everything looks good. The buttons are all on there. The last page, I don't need the buttons on, so I'm good. The only page here would be this one that the this particular picture is on. That's going to be an issue because it's a full page. Okay, well, we'll see kind of how this happens. It might actually show up whenever we're saving it out as an interactive PDF, so we'll take a look at that. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to submit the interactive PDF for grading. So we're going to, okay, wait a second, I'm missing one. Navigate buttons on the page, each page that the user can use to browse the magazine page, or jump to the table of contents. That's the one that I forgot. So jump to the table of contents, I would say, would be on any of the pages other than page 2. So let me see here. I would say instead of adding it to the master page, you might just want to, if you want to be less confusing how we add it to the master pages, we could just add it right to the pages themselves. And that way you don't even have to worry about doing a master page D like I did here. So let me do that. So before you do anything, I'm going to delete what I just did, and I'm going to do it a different way. So don't add it to your master pages here. I just want to try to make it easier on you guys so you're not having to worry about that, all of what I just did, because I think it will become a problem. So I'm going to copy and delete these, just the buttons that I have in here. So forget the master pages. We're just going to add it to the actual pages. So go right to your pages. So page 2 will start here. And I'm just putting them, you can put them down below, you can put them on top. It's completely up to you. I just kind of liked it in the middle just to start somewhere. Okay, it looks centered. Okay, that looks good. And that way, look, you know, you don't have to worry about creating another master page. You know, you're going to see that previous page button no matter what. So my apologies for that. I hope that's clear for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, but I think this is the easy way to go. Okay, on this one, oops. Pull this over here. I only need one set. So I'm gonna add it there, and bring the front. Can I see those? Oh, this has a master page on it, I think. Can you see that? Why is that not showing? That's really weird. Okay, it looks like they're there. Oh, bring the front. Go back here. Something weird's going on here. That's really weird. Why isn't this showing up? Okay, well, we'll see if they show up. Like I said, if we create the PDF, it might show up. So let's go back up here. Now I'm going to have to add my picture back in here. Just go find that picture again. Okay, and I'm going to go File, Place, and place these in here. Okay, these I can find, so that's good. Okay, I don't know why it wasn't showing on the other one, but I'm going to File, Save. Looks good. I'm just going to delete the previous one. I don't need that one. And then File, Save. Okay. So I think that's good. Now we just need a button to go back to the table of contents. So what I think I'm going to do is go up to my symbols up here, and I'm going to do maybe a button like this. Let's see, this longer button. And I'm going to put it in the middle. Let me zoom in here. Get a little smaller. You can definitely, change these, the size. And I'm going to create a text frame. I'm going to say, I'm going to have it say table of contents. And I'm just going to reverse it out in white because it's a dark color. And let's see here. I'm going to go to change the actual font here as well. So let me go and get the character palette under types and tables. You can choose a different type font that you want. I'm going to do Helvetica New because I think I was doing that for all of my, oops, Helvetica New. Let's do bold, not extended, condensed. Let's do bold condensed, and I'm going to do maybe like a 9-point and centered. And I'm just going to center it nicely right on this button. Right there. And then I'm going to shift select not just the type box, but also the button. I'm going to do a group, so Command G, and I'm going to place it kind of in the middle here. Then I'm going to go into my buttons and forms, and I'm going to create a new button. And it looks like I cannot do that with just, so I'm going to ungroup it. I think it's because it's grouped. Let me just touch the button, ungroup it. Okay, so don't group your type with the button because it won't allow you to create a button. I didn't know that. So now just select the button itself and then go to button. And we're going to name this table of contents. Release our tab is fine. Add action. So we're going to go to destination. Let's see if this is where I need to go here. Sorry, guys. And we're going to choose where it says destination, letter from the editor, because that's where the table of contents is. Okay. Now, when that's ready to go, we're going to copy both the type and the button. So just hit Command, and then we're going to paste it on every page on the very bottom. And it should save the button qualities to it, so you don't need to reassign where it's going to. It's all saved. There we go. Oops. It's a little tough because I have them both selected. Copy, paste, copy, paste. And then just, place it. You don't have to put it at the very bottom. It's completely up to you where you want to put it. For this article, maybe a little challenging here. Put it right there. And then File, Save. Okay? So that should link, anytime you click on that, it'll go right back to the table of contents. The only page that you don't want that to be on is page 2 and the cover. All right, when you're ready to save, go to File, Export, PDF presets. We're going to go to File, oops, sorry, Export, and we're going to export as an interactive PDF. So PDF interactive. And then click Save. I'm saving to the desktop. All pages, and we're going to click on just pages. We're going to do single pages just because we have the buttons on there. Viewing, we'll do fit page. Include all. That's what we want to be mindful of, that that's selected. Hit export. Click OK. Might take a little while here, and it's going to open up when it's done. All right, here's what it looks like. So I'm going to click on my PDF here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. All right, so let's see how this works. I'm going to click on the first hyperlink here, and it takes me right to my feature article. Now I want to go back to the cover page, so I'm going to see if this works, my previous page. Oh, it actually takes me to page 8, so that's something to be mindful of. I'm not sure why. So I'll have to check that out. Okay, let me click on this second title. It takes me right to the letter of the editor. And let me see if this actually takes me back to the cover. Nope, right to the last page. That's weird. Okay, so I'm going to have to take a look at that. The other thing I noticed is my type isn't showing for the buttons either. So we're going to have to take a look at that. Those are the 2 hyperlinks that we did. Let me see if this next page goes to the next page. Yep, that works. That works. These all work. The next page. The only thing that doesn't work is this. This should be deleted. This one doesn't work, so I'm gonna have to see what that's going on with that. And then the back button, so I'm gonna have to check out that. So this is a good way to test it out, see if it works. Obviously, there's something going on, so I'm gonna check it out. The next button I wanna check is table of contents. The table of contents is not showing in here, so we're gonna have to figure out that situation, but I am gonna click on this button and see if it goes back to page 2. Yep, back to page 2. So these all go back to page 2. I'm going to have to allow it to go back to page 2, but they looks like it goes. Allow. Yep. You might get this little error message. All right, so let's go back and take a look at, so that works. There's just a couple issues in here. The back buttons, obviously, there's something going on here. So I'm going to go and look at the buttons. Oops. And I'm just going to make sure I don't have anything in my master pages. Now I'm good. Okay. Delete this one. All right, so I'm going to go back to my buttons. All right, previous 2. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just make sure that this previous go to last page, go to previous page. Oh, that's why I chose go to last page. So you want to go to previous page. That is why that's happening. Okay, so once I did that, I'm going to copy that specific arrow. I'm just going to replace it with this one. Oops. Copy and paste. There we go. Sorry, guys. That was another no that I just did. So just go ahead and replace that on, if you did kind of what I did, hopefully not, just go ahead and replace those or just change them in the button options, just the left one. All the things, right? I chose the wrong direction. Okay. And then, oh, you know why this isn't working? Because it's grouped. So just make sure they're not grouped. Delete the one on the right. You don't need it. This one we're just going to replace. So that's why that wasn't working. Okay, so we solved those problems. Now we just have to figure out the table of contents with the type. Zoom in on this. I'm going to see if I can select both of them without grouping it. Go back to my buttons and forms. Choose button. And button, convert to object button. And we're going to name this table of contents. Go to destination, and then we're going to go to letter from the editor. Okay, this looks good. Everything looks good there. Okay. I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to see if that works for all these. So what I did was a little different. I actually selected both. I didn't group them, but I shift selected the body copy box along with the button. We'll see if this actually works. And if it doesn't work, we'll have to try something else because I'm not quite sure why that's doing that. Figure it out. Let's see, where's the middle here? Right there. Okay, file save. I'm going to do the same thing, file export. We're going to save over what we did, desktop interactive. Replace this time, all pages. We're going to do single pages, embed all. Let's see here, include all, looks good. Click OK. And let's see if this works now. Trial and error. All right, let's click on here. Yep, goes to the next page. Let's try it back. Ah, it goes right back to the old page. Okay. I'm not sure what the heck's going on here. Let me see if that goes. It goes right back to the last page. Let me just make sure that this is actually saving my button options, or I have to change them individually. Buttons and forms. Okay, we're going to delete this. I think that's what's screwing it up. In my actions, I still had go to previous. So I'm just going to select all of the left ones, and I'm going to go and delete. So just hit that little negative sign, that action. We don't want that. Maybe that's what's going on here. Okay, I just want to make sure that that was set there. Go to the last page. Let's get rid of that. All right, I'm going to delete this PDF on the desktop just to make sure I have a fresh PDF that I'm kind of looking off of here. Give me 1 second, you guys. Sorry for all the problems. I didn't expect all that to happen here. Just one of those things. Let me throw this PDF out. There we go. Okay. I'll export again. Try it again. Desktop interactive looks good. Everything else looks great. Hopefully this is third time's the charm. So when you choose that previous button, make sure you're selecting the go to previous page and not the last page. There we go. Now it's working. Yep, there you go. So that was my screw up. All right, the next thing is the table contents. You can see it now, the actual wordage on the button. So the key to that is if you're doing a button with type, you don't want to group those two together. You want to select both the type box with the button and then create your button as I showed. Okay, let's check out the hyperlinks again on these pages. You can see temporal lobe was one of them. Let's click on that. And all you have to do is say allow, and it's going to take you right to that URL. It should take you. So right there, it's taking me right to this URL. So perfect. I'm going to share my desktop so you guys can see what I'm doing here all together. And then I want to go into my feature article and click on the other one that I created in here. Let's go back to the PDF, sorry. So you want to test on your PDF. Right there is the second one, circuit trading. I'm going to click right on there. And it takes me right to my circuit training URL that I signed it to. So test it out, open your PDF. If you see the issues that I had, you know, obviously you want to work out those issues, check your buttons, make sure everything's assigned right and assigned correctly. Test out your hyperlinks, that they're going to the right pages, your buttons that you created. You know, take a look to see if they're very clear. And then when you're ready to go, say this looks really good, you have your PDF to send to me. So here is where it says, okay, so you're going to name that. You're going to export it. The next step, this is another step, is you're going to export to the web using Adobe InDesign Publish Online. So with that being said, it says export as a spread. So what you might need to do is go back to your InDesign and export this out as a spread, but still interactive. So we'll just assign this as spread here so I know which one's which. And instead of having pages, choose spreads. Just make sure fit pages looks good, all pages is selected, everything else looks good. And click create, click OK. So the first one you created is a single. This is a spread. It's going to look a little different. Oops. This is the one that you're going to submit to your e-publishing site here. So this one will be more of a spread. The only thing that won't work as good as are these buttons, because the back buttons obviously are used for the single pages. So if you're doing a spread page, just take off these buttons and just use the outer buttons. It's kind of confusing because the instructions tell you in here that let's see here, export as a spread. Okay, maybe it doesn't. I thought it said single pages. And that's really easily fixed. All you would have to do, you know, if you wanted to redo this so that you don't have those inside buttons, is just go ahead and delete them. So let's delete them so they're not even in there in my InDesign file. This looks good. So file save, and let's save this out again. Interactive spread. Just make sure spreads is selected, hit export, click OK. And then you'll see that those buttons obviously make more sense because you're looking at it as a spread this time instead of single pages. Let's open that up here. There we go. So just test that out again, make sure that these buttons work. You don't have to go to the, you don't have to have these inside. You just have to have the outside on the spreads as far as the signifiers, the buttons. When that's all ready to go, so that's the one I'm going to submit to the link here. So you're going to click on Adobe InDesign Publish Online. You're going to export as a spread. You're going to copy the URL and submit in comments when you submit your document. So you're going to name your file as such and then submit your interactive PDF for grading as well. So let's go ahead and click on this link. This is going to tell you what Publish Online is all about, kind of explain in detail here. User's guide. Okay, so you can go in here and take a look. It gives you how to do it. So what you're going to do basically is you're going to publish the current document online, click the Publish Online button in the app bar or choose Publish Online. So we're going to go back to your document in InDesign, the one that we did all the interactive buttons on. You're going to go File, Publish Online. Dialog box is going to pop up. And you're going to have the general selected, publish new document, keep the title named as such, description, that's up to you if you want to add that. All pages, and then choose spread. And you can also allow users to download the document as PDF. You can check that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to click publish. And then once you choose publish, it's going to be a little bit here, preparing your document to be published online. Publish online pop-up box is going to show you how it's updating your document. And it depends on the speed of your internet connection, whether this goes quicker or slower. Here's the link that you're going to be sending me. So you can hit copy. You can actually view the document as well. Might be wise to do it just to see how it looks. Once you copy that document link, your URL, it's going to put it in your pasteboard so that you're able to send it to the FPA. Okay, so it's going to look like that. You can see it as, these already have the links in them. So I'm just wondering if you don't even need your signifiers in there for this particular linked copy. So you might want to even take off these, use the other PDF that you created without your all of the interactivity that you created. Just have the PDF that you created before you started your interactivity buttons to publish in this regards. But then you're going to send me, so kind of don't get this confused, not only are you going to send me the URL, so you're going to submit this, and I can't show you how to do that because I'm not a student. You're going to submit this, and you're going to paste that URL that you had as you submit your actual interactive PDF. So the interactive PDF by itself needs to be submitted, as well as the URL of the published digital version. And then you can send an email to your FPA of just the link, the URL link that was shown here. To your FPA, and then just CC me on that. Okay. So here's the link here I just showed you. So let's see, assessment 4. We go back to assignment 4. So assignment 4 would be without your actual interactivity that you have in here. You don't have your links or anything. So what I would do before you go to publish it, I would open up your assignment 4 in InDesign before you don't do it to your actual interactive one. So go to your assignment 4, go back to that one that you don't have any buttons or any hyperlinks, go File, Publish Online, and kind of go through the steps that I just did so that you don't see all those buttons and hyperlinks. You don't need that because it's already in the actual format of the publishing software. The only reason why you need to save it out as a PDF with the buttons is so that I can see that they work, but this is for assessment 4, okay? So there's 2 different assignments. This is without, assignment 4 is without all of the buttons. The assessment 4 is making it interactive. I need to see the interactive PDF submitted to your assessment 4, and then you need to send a URL of your digital version, and you'll need to go back to your assignment 4, go File, Publish Online, and do that in that regard. So it doesn't show, any of your interactivity, buttons and all of that. So hopefully that makes sense. It's a little confusing, but it kind of makes sense in regards to, you don't need double set of buttons when you go to the digital version of it. There are samples down here that you can take a look at. They're pretty basic, just 2 pages that they're showing you too. So I think, with the video that I showed you guys, and I'm going to give this to you in announcements so you have it, on how to create the buttons. And I kind of did the same thing with my example. If you follow those steps, I think you'll be good. Just remember to, test it out. Make sure you're submitting the right interactive PDF as well as the URL for the digital version. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to wrap it up tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget your career integration quiz and your discussion. You need to have those in. The discussion initial post needs to be done by midnight tonight since it's Wednesday. So make sure you're getting that in. That's Mountain Time. And then the career integration quiz is due by Saturday. Everything's due by Saturday before midnight for possible credit. I cannot accept any late work this week. So just kind of an FYI there. All right, let me know if you have any questions. It was great having you guys in class. I am also going to be posting kind of like a goodbye, thank you, maybe not goodbye, see you later announcement that will have my Behance or LinkedIn and Behance links so you can keep in touch with me in that regards, so it's not totally goodbye. And I might have you guys in future classes. So good luck to all of you, and thank you for all your hard work. Finish strong. I want you guys to put a lot of time and energy in your projects. So I want to see this kind of come alive in the next, actually at the end of this weekend. So good luck to all of you. If you have any questions, let me know. I am around to help you guys. So if you're stuck, that's what I'm here for. All right, guys, have a great night.